Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much. I am such a fan of yours. I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you, of course.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, just drinking some caffeine.
I am about to get my second cup of the day after this, but I wanted to kick off by saying, as I mentioned, I'm such a big fan of yours. I saw you open for Maroon 5 at Fenway Park a week ago or so now. I
Oh
want
my
to
God, you
say,
came?
of course I did. I had to be there. You were the only reason I went.
Oh my God, thank you. It was so much fun.
It was amazing. You were incredible live, and I was so excited to finally hear Heaven and Hell and all of those tracks, like as they're meant to be appreciated. But what was it like opening up for them and coming out of the pandemic strong on a tour with Maroon 5?
Well, when I first got the call to do it, I was like, you're kidding, right? Like the stadium tours, you maybe mean something smaller. I'm like, what? And so when I started doing them, obviously, like it just felt like home being surrounded by so many people. I love being surrounded by that many people, and you feel the energy and you feed off the energy too, dancing and singing with everybody. So it's just been a blessing.
It was so electric. Did you get to hang out with like Maroon 5 at all, Adam Levine backstage, or too many COVID
No, I think
restrictions?
they come in and out or something, but hopefully I see them at the LA show at the Bank Stadium. I did see some of their bandmates. They were so
Ooh,
sweet. They waited for me after I had dinner one night and when I was in Chicago. And it was like
oh.
midnight and I was celebrating. I had a few drinks and I head back and I'm like, who are these guys that are just waiting here? I like couldn't tell who they were. And this one guy, they were with the security guard. And I was like, what? And so they're like, Ava. I'm like, at first I thought it was fans, and I'm like, oh my God, no, it's literally the guys from Maroon
Maroon
5.
5.
I'm like, hello, Maroon 5. And so I was freaking out and I was like, I'm sorry, I've already had two glasses of wine. Like,
I
and
love it.
I was
That's
like
so amazing.
apologizing in advance. But they were so sweet. They waited to say, like, hey, you did a good job. Like for my first one in Chicago. And I was like in awe. They were the
Wow.
sweetest.
That's so nice of them. I can't believe they did that, but I love to hear it.
Like so nice.
After seeing you, I have now been dying for an AvaMax tour. Is that something we can expect in the new year or anytime soon?
Yes. Yes. It's been nuts with the pandemic. So I feel like I couldn't predict what was coming, but I feel like we're finally coming out of it. And yeah,
Sooner
so
than later, I hope.
next year, yeah.
I cannot wait. It was just so good, and the songs were so insane live, and I'm so excited, to hear everything else that's coming. But
Mm.
I think right before the show or a little after was the 1 year anniversary of Heaven and Hell. What's it like looking back on the album now and everything you've been able to accomplish in, the year that you've released it with everything going on?
Looking back, I think, wow, we did a good job, despite the fact that it was like we couldn't go anywhere. It was quarantine and we had to promote it from home and do like these Zooms through like
Mhm.
our laptop. Like, I think we did a pretty good job, but I didn't think the album was going to do as good as it did because again, we were in quarantine and I couldn't really promote it or go out there.
Mhm.
But the fans were there. The fans stood up and they're like, "Hey, we're listening to this even in quarantine." And I was like, "Okay." And the streams proved,
Billions.
yeah, I don't even know. I'm in shock. And to this day, I still can't believe that happened.
Well, I am so grateful that we got the album in quarantine because there was so much that was going on last year and so much craziness, but it was so nice to have like incredible music to really get us through it. And Heaven and Hell is absolutely one of those albums for me. And
Thank
it front to back, it's
you.
absolute bangers. Tattoo, Naked, Take You to Hell, like the list goes on. And My Head and My Heart is, of course, like
You are
it,
so
you
sweet.
know?
You are so sweet. I love my hand and my heart too. Thank you.
I was wondering if you would ever consider releasing a B-sides for the album because I'm sure there's so many other great songs that just did not make it.
There are, but I feel like I'm leaving it behind now because I am working on the next album and it is I feel like it's a different me now and it's elevated and the first album, to be honest, it was an accumulation of everything I listened to growing up. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like Mariah Carey, like everything I listened to, all the melodies, all the music kind of came out in this album, Heaven and Hell. So I feel like I'm done with that. Like I've done that. Now
Mhm.
I'm about to show everybody who I really am.
Interesting. So will this new era, because I know Every Time We Cry was kind of more of a continuation, also fantastic song, by
Part
the
of,
way.
yeah,
But
Heaven and Hell still, yeah.
when is the next era going to start kicking in? Is that something that's going to happen this year? Or do we also have to wait until next year for that too?
Well, it's still gonna be dance bangers, I can tell you that.
Thank God.
Of course, you're like, are you coming in with ballads? Like,
That was actually that was a
um,
question I had.
imagine, like, no, I would, no. Let's just say we'll leave that for like the fifth, sixth album. But
I love it.
you're like, thank God. You're like, whew.
Can go on peacefully now for the rest of this.
You're like heaven and hell for the rest of my life, nothing else. No, but I think, yeah, so this next album definitely has a lot of dance records on it, but it has more of like that soulful feeling. And I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm really, really excited. And there's just so much music coming soon. I've been in the studio all year. So
That's nuts. I know, because you were saying that, I think a couple months ago to Zane Lowe or whoever, that the album has just come insanely quick and you didn't think you'd have it this fast, which is great for us. But
I'm speechless with the music like we're making right now. And
is it that big of anthems, bangers, like bigger than
like,
Heaven and Hell?
It's like Kings and Queens on crack. Like literally, that's what I never thought
I
could make a bigger. I never thought I could make a bigger anthem than Kings and Queens, and then the second album happened.
And it's all bigger.
Yeah. I just can't wait to share. And I just want to dance to it and sing along on stage with everybody. Like, so yeah, soon.
Well, you've sampled some of the biggest songs ever in pop throughout the years. Of course, Aqua, Barbie Girl, Bonnie Tyler, and Bon Jovi with Kings and Queens, and of course, ATC Around the World. Can we expect another one of these iconic samples on the next album? This trend to continue?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, just because I like to dabble a little bit into that. Because I think it's so nostalgic and it makes you feel like happy, like, okay, we're bringing part of the past in, and like, but in a way where it's very subtle, you know, with Kings and Queens, super subtle. So I think that's my main thing. Yeah. But My Head and My Heart was a little bit stronger. It was just like la 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 la. It was like in your face.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the only ones I did like that. But yeah, yes.
Amazing. And that's like a song that's going to come out, you were saying, on the next album?
There is maybe a couple, yeah.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Have you ever sampled or tried to make a song with another iconic sample that just didn't work?
I mean, no. No,
Too good, too good.
No, I haven't. I was gonna say yes, but then I realized it was a no.
Well, for the next album, are you going to be working, aside from Circuit, of course, with any of the same collaborators that you did with Heaven and Hell? For example, like Bonnie McKee and Charlie Puth, and Tove Lo even had a credit on there as well. Are you bringing in new people with this project?
It's like all like new people, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Except for Circuit, obviously. He's executive producer of the second album as well.
Love to hear that.
Like, him and I are a duo that just are unbreakable. So we're always working. And yeah.
I was going to ask if there was more ballads, but of course, we got to wait for those.
I know. I'm not ready to release a ballad yet.
Is there a moment so far with Heaven and Hell, with what you put out, where you just think back to it and you go, wow, I did that?
Yeah, the music video of Oh My God, What's Happening, because it was scorching hot. It was like 200 degrees in the desert. It really felt like 200 degrees. And I remember getting sunburnt, like circles of sunburn, like, because my outfit only was showing circles.
The
like,
cutouts.
So, like, when I took it off, like being on that pickup truck, performing in the scorching sun, I remember being like, oh, cool. I have circles on my back now for like 8 months. Cool. Like, so I'm like, how did I even like perform like that? Like, the car was going like 60 miles per hour and I was chained on the car. And I look back and I'm like, I love that song, but I was nuts for doing that.
Well, it was iconic. So it was much appreciated, all of the pain you went through. And last random question I have that I jot down is, can we expect a Christmas Without You music video this year for the holidays?
I'll leave that to, you know, a surprise, but maybe.
Ooh. I know, because I was so blown away, of course, by everything. And then you come out with a Christmas song and just blow it out of the ballpark on the first try with the first release. And
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I
I love
can't
you.
wait for the holiday
Oh
season.
my God, I love you. Thank you. Okay, so it's a big yes, maybe. Like a yes,
Okay.
maybe. It's like leaning towards yes, but like I just don't want to get everyone's hopes up.
Totally understand. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. It's been so lovely to talk to you. And like I mentioned, I'm such a fan and I can't wait for everything that's coming.
Thank you. You too. And hopefully we can do this interview like in person, maybe.
Yes, in Boston the next time you're in town. Would love to make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Talk to
You
you
too.
soon.
Talk soon. Bye.